Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. When there is no light, there is no internet, isn't it?
Internet password.
No, when there is no electricity, there is also no internet.
Internet available.
Even there is no light? Okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Just give me a minute. Some issues with technical thing here. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Was that 5:18 or 16? 16? 18? 5:18. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Yamuna tira Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Gopi Jana Balava Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Balava Girivaradhari Sodanandana Braja Janardan Yasodanandana Braja Janardan Yamuna Tira Panachari Yamuna Tira Panachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Braja Janarandana Yasodanandana Braja Janarandana Yasodanandana Braja Janarandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Bhutale Śrimati Gopal Krishna Goswami Prabhupada Satyam Prabhupada Pracharang Bilvan Sadhu Nipate Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Śrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Scha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Kṛṣṇa Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Sha He Kṛṣṇa Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneswari Visabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Śivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya We continue reading from the Bhagavad Gita as it is. 5th chapter, Karma Yoga, Action in Krishna Consciousness, text number 18. Vidyā-vinaya-sampanne brāhmaṇe gavi hastini śuni caiva śva-pāke paṇḍitāḥ sama-darśinaḥ. Somebody else? Vidyā-vinaya-sampanne brāhmaṇe gavi hastini śuni caiva śva-pāke paṇḍitāḥ sama-darśinaḥ. Vidyā-vinaya-sampanne Mataji. vidyā-vinaya-sampanne brāhmaṇe gavi hastini śuni caiva śva-pāke sama-darśinaḥ. Word for word meaning: vidya, with education, vinaya, and gentleness, sampanne, fully equipped, brāhmaṇe, in the brāhmaṇa, gavi, in the cow, hastini, in the elephant, śuni, in the dog, cha, and caiva, certainly, śva-pāke, in the dog eater, the outcast, cha, respectively, paṇḍitāḥ, those who are wise, sama-darśinaḥ, who see with equal vision. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The humble sages, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and gentle brāhmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater, outcast. Please repeat. The humble sages, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and gentle brāhmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater, outcast. Purport. A Kṛṣṇa conscious person does not make any distinction between species and castes. The brāhmana and the outcast may be different from the social point of view, or a dog, a cow, and an elephant may be different from the point of view of species. But these differences of body are meaningless from the viewpoint of a learned transcendentalist. This is due to their relationship to the Supreme, for the Supreme Lord, by His plenary portion as Paramātmā, is present in everyone's heart. Such an understanding of the Supreme is real knowledge. As far as the bodies are concerned, in different castes or different species of life, the Lord is equally kind to everyone because He treats every living being as a friend, yet maintains Himself as Paramātmā regardless of the circumstances of the living entities. The Lord as Paramātmā is present both in the outcast and in the brāhmana. Although the body of a brāhmana and that of an outcast are not the same. The bodies are material production of different modes of material nature, but the soul and the Supersoul within the body are of the same spiritual quality. The similarity in the quality of the soul and the Supersoul, however, does not make them equal in quantity, for the individual soul is present only in that particular body, whereas the Paramātmā is present in each and every body. A Kṛṣṇa conscious person has full knowledge of this, and therefore he is truly learned and has equal vision. The similar characteristics of the soul and the supersoul are that they are both conscious, eternal, and blissful. But the difference is that the individual soul is conscious within the limited jurisdiction of the body, whereas the supersoul is conscious of all bodies. The supersoul is present in all bodies without distinction. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vidyā-vinaya-sampanne brāhmaṇe gavi hastini śuni caiva śva-pāke ca paṇḍitāḥ sama-darśinaḥ. So in India, when they see someone wearing a lal kapra, they'll say, "Hey, Panditji," right? They call you Panditji. Panditji or Pandit means a learned person. Now, what is a learned person according to the Bhagavad Gita? According to the Bhagavad Gita, a learned person is one who sees everyone in equal vision. Yes, sama-darśinaḥ. It's like there is a record company in America because the band they were playing, so the producer he named his company as Equal Vision. The group's name is 108. You ever heard of that group? 108? Shelter? So their songs are from the Bhagavad Gita, from the Śrīmad Bhagavatam. It teaches about how we should see everyone in equal vision, what is the condition of the material world, and so on. So a learned person is not just literary, he knows Sanskrit or he knows Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada says there are many scholars in the academic field that they know more than the devotees. Sometimes the Bhagavad Gita, in and out, but then they only know in theory. And then in practical application, they don't practice. So an equal vision, one who sees an equal vision, that means he sees with true knowledge, by the virtue of true knowledge. There is what you call practical knowledge, and there is also realized knowledge. A realized knowledge means he sees everyone in equal vision. As it says here, a brāhmaṇa, cow, an elephant, a dog eater. So if you see all of these different aspects, a brāhmaṇa, what is brāhmaṇa? Brāhmaṇa means suci, and a dog eater means muci. It's like if you have a dog at home, hopefully you don't, or a cat. In America, even devotees, they have, it's like pets. If you touch them, or if they see what you're going to offer to Kṛṣṇa, it is considered as unofferable. Or in Jagannath Puri, no one can see the offerings before it is offered to the Lord Jagannath. And if like a dog sees that offering, then they have to cook again, 56 items, once again. That's why they have a very closed, secret chamber. Only the pujari, the one who will offer, no one can see. However, there is no difference between a brāhmana and an outcast or a dog eater in the eyes of a very learned person, because he sees the Supersoul within the heart. The Paramātmā is present in everyone's heart, everywhere, and that's why he is called localized. He's all-pervasive, but he's also localized within the heart of every living entities, in every nook and corner of the universe or the entire material creation. Prabhupada gave an example. Within the heart of every living entity, the jiva and the Paramātmā, or the soul, and the Supersoul are side by side. The Paramātmā is a witness. He is the controller and he is the permitter. And he gave an example, just like Paramātmā is compared to a person, and the jiva is a flower. So the person can smell the flower because they're side by side. Now, the Paramātmā is the controller and he's the permitter, but then the jiva has a free will. Even though the Paramātmā is the controller, he doesn't interfere with the free will of the Atma. This is like a jewel that each and every one of us possess. The Paramātmā is just there as a witness and gives us direction. Now, how can we hear the Paramātmā? It says that when the senses are fully under control and the mind is peaceful, then the Supersoul is already rich. We can hear. Sometimes there is some small voice you are hearing, oh, don't do it. But then we say, no. I like to do what I'm gonna do. This is our minute independence. The Paramātmā is not responsible for the actions that we perform. If we follow, if we understand, if we hear what the Paramātmā says, then, only then, we will be free from karma. That is akarma, no karma. But then, if we follow what we wanted to do, which is against the direction or the advice or the dictation of the Paramātmā, then we will not be held, or we will not hold the Paramātmā as responsible for our action. We will be responsible. And that's why there is what is called karma. So the humble sages, they see everyone in equal vision because they see the Paramātmā in each and everyone's heart. It's like in the morning when we offer obeisances to the devotees. I hope you do, not just to only two sannyasis. You should offer obeisances to each and everyone. I hope the brahmacharis also are doing it. As soon as they get up, they see each other. We offer the obeisances not just to the person, but more to the Paramātmā who resides within the body. It says that the Paramātmā, as we've heard here, he is all-pervading and he knows everything what's going on. To a certain extent, the jiva also is also all-pervading, but not unlimitedly. We are all pervasive, the jiva atma, only to our body. It's like if I have a pain, I can perceive it, but others may not perceive it. They may perceive it if my face is like, having pain, then you can tell I have pain. But if I'm not able to show it physically, then you cannot tell that I have pain. The Prabhupada says that yes, I am concerned about my body. I know what's going on in my body up to a certain extent. And I cannot tell what's going on in your body. I don't know what's going on with your mind, whether you are present still right now or your mind is somewhere else. But Kṛṣṇa, He knows everyone's mind. He knows everyone's heart. He knows everything, even before we think, even before we decide. This is Paramātmā. This is how powerful and how all-pervasive Paramātmā is. He knows past, present, and future. That's why Lord Kṛṣṇa doesn't get old, because His body doesn't change. He knows everything. He remembers everything. Unlike us, we probably forgot our dream 3 weeks ago. Or even as soon as we woke up, we forgot the dream immediately. Yes or no? Of course, that is the forgetfulness. Sarvasya chaham hridhi shanibishtu mata smritir jnanam apuhanam cha. Smritir, hridhi, again. As Paramātmā, He gives us remembrance and He gives us forgetfulness. How many times that, we want to utter someone's name, we know, but then suddenly we cannot remember what is the name. That is the Paramātmā. He gives us remembrance and He gives us forgetfulness as well. So with equal vision, this is a real learned person. He sees everyone that is mentioned here. The brāhmaṇa, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater. So they're different species of life. The brāhmaṇa, how can you compare a brāhmaṇa to a cow or a hastini or an elephant or śva-pāke, a dog eater, or śuni? No, they're all different from the social point of view and also in the position in human form of life. So these differences of body is there, yes, but we should somehow come to the platform of being a paṇḍitāḥ, a learned person. That means we have to understand Lord Kṛṣṇa. He has three aspects. From the previous verse, the three aspects of the Supreme Lord was mentioned. Brahmeti, Paramātmeti, Bhagavan eti, Sabjate. This is a learned person. He knows the Supreme Absolute Truth in these three aspects. It is the complete knowledge. So from the point of view of the learned person, we should see everyone. We should not discriminate. Oh, this is, of course, we have to discriminate up to a certain extent, but we should see them in equal vision. That's why we are the International Society for Kṛṣṇa Consciousness. We are developing the knowledge whereby everyone can partake in Kṛṣṇa consciousness. The process of Kṛṣṇa consciousness is everyone, irregardless of one's creed, color, nationality, religion, or caste, so to speak. This is the first one that I tried to understand. Because if I discriminate, how am I be able to relate with each and every one? If I say, oh, this person is from this country, or this person is from that religion came from. No. it'll be very difficult to practice Krishna consciousness. In this regard, we will start to make offenses. There's no such thing as old or young or woman or man or poor or rich, educated or uneducated. In Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement, there is no such thing as, hey, you are uneducated, you are not qualified to partake in Krishna consciousness. You are poor, I'm sorry, you cannot enter. No, we accept each and every one. So we have to develop this equal vision. And this is not just by saying, oh, I see everyone in equal vision. Treating everyone in equal vision must be there. It is very important to understand this aspect in Krishna consciousness. And this is real knowledge. This is real knowledge. Because the Lord, as Paramātmā, is present in both the outcast and in the brāhmaṇa and in everyone. Due to our contamination with the material energy, due to the three modes of material nature, we acquired these different bodies, different forms, according to our desires and according to the quality that we acquired and the activities that we perform. We are covered up. That's why we're still in the material world. We're still covered up by these modes of material nature. But this is only, again, external. The Jiva Atma is beyond this. We are beyond this body. If one is in the bodily platform, he will not develop this learned stage of being a paṇḍitāḥ, of being a learned person, seeing everyone in equal vision. If he is in the bodily platform, if he thinks that, oh, I'm Indian, I'm American, I'm Hindu, I'm Christian, then he will not be able to reach this stage. Why do we need to learn these things? Why do we have to develop this thing? Because that is the nature of being a sign of a Krishna-conscious person. A Krishna-conscious person does not discriminate. Discrimination is there because he sees in the bodily platform. And because he is on the bodily platform. If he is not on the bodily platform, then he will see everyone in equal vision. He will see everyone as servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That stage is very, very elevated. It is not so easy. It is not just book knowledge. It is not. If we're going to see in everyone and discriminate, we will not make advancement in Krishna consciousness. So somehow or other, by Krishna's arrangement, out of his compassion, the Bhagavad Gita was spoken again 5,000 years ago, even though he spoke this knowledge to the sun god Vivasvan millions and millions of years ago, and just recently 5,000 years ago, this knowledge again was repeated to Arjuna for our own benefit. The teachings of Lord Kṛṣṇa in the Bhagavad Gita is none different than the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his mission is to spread Krishna consciousness by chanting the holy name of the Lord in every town and village. If he confined the mission only here in India, then how the whole world can be saved, or the entire universe can be saved? It is not just meant for the Indians. It is meant for everybody. So how we can develop this equal vision is that we have to get out of the bodily platform. To get out of the bodily platform is very difficult. Srila Prabhupada has been hammering us again and again in most, if not all of his lectures, that we're not this body, we're spirit souls. We're all servants of Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We are all in the same family. We may have different colors, we may have different backgrounds, we may have coming from different cultures or countries, but we're all together. We're all under the same Father, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So there is a similarity between the soul and the Supersoul. We are minute, and Kṛṣṇa is unlimited, infinite. That is the difference. So when we come to the platform of the understanding this knowledge, then we can be able to make advancement in Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Actually, this is the first thing that I've learned. Otherwise, I'm not be able to exist or be able to stay long in Kṛṣṇa consciousness. If I discriminate each and every one that I say, this, no. And it's very difficult. I cannot figure it out myself also. I mean, I came from a different background. I am the only maybe from the Philippines here, or maybe there's another one from Philippines here. He's in Govardhan. There's no way that I'll be able to understand the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita if I don't come out of the bodily platform. I'm still trying to get out of the bodily platform, but we have to keep reminding ourselves that we are not this body, we're spirit souls, and we have to treat everyone equally. It's like Prabhupada says, prasadam should be distributed equally. Prasadam should be for everyone, not just to the poor, even for the rich people. Right? Prasadam is prasadam. Of course, sometimes when there is a feast, we will say, "Oh Prabhu, I just want this rasgulla," or "Oh Prabhuji, I just want this samosa." Prasadam is prasadam. Of course, you may have some favorite prasadam. In Delhi, when I was staying in Delhi, because devotees started to do that, like, we figure out how we can distribute prasad equally to everyone. So what we did is that we mix everything. We mix everything together. The namkeen and the misti, all together. So now they cannot say, "Oh Prabhu, I want," no. You take what you're going to be given here. You cannot say, no. Everything now is mixed. Everything now is equal. So we have to develop somehow this vision. The vision is not by the eyes. The vision is in the heart. We should see, it's like Shasta Chakshu. How do we see things? We should see things according to the scriptures, according to what we hear from the right source. If we see things according to our vision with our eyes, which is contaminated, atashi Krishna namadi navavedgrayam indriyai sevan mukhi jivado swayam eva spuratiyata. These blunt senses are not really seeing what is real. only when we have real knowledge purifies our heart. Real knowledge purifies all the misgivings in our heart. All the anarthas will be burned by the fire of knowledge. And that's why the Bhagavad Gita is very important. Bhagavad Gita is knowledge that can burn all the misgivings, all the unwanted desires within our heart, and we'll be able to see according to these scriptures. Prabhupada says, we will not be able to understand Bhagavad Gita not until we become a devotee. To understand Bhagavad Gita, we need to become a devotee. And becoming a devotee is not easy. Not very easy. But it is easy at the same time. We just have to follow Arjuna. Prabhupada says we have to follow in the footsteps of Arjuna. Then one day we'll be able to understand Bhagavad Gita. That's why Kṛṣṇa says, I'm explaining this science of knowledge, this Bhagavad Gita to you because you are my friend. Kṛṣṇa is a friend to everyone. But to him, he doesn't have a friend or an enemy. But he's a friend. This is what he called Bandhu, Surit. There is another one, I just cannot remember. Where's the other one? Huh? Mitra. Like in Delhi we have Mitra. Or we have Dinabandhu. But Surit is very special. Very, very dear friend. And he doesn't leave us. Paramātmā. See, when we leave this body, we carry the mind, the intelligence, and the ego. We live behind the gross body. And along with the mind, the intelligence, and the ego, the soul is there with the Paramātmā. In different species of life. Different species. Even in a pig's body, even in a monkey's body, even in a dog's body, Paramātmā is always there. Where can you find a friend like that? A friend in the material world is only good when you are having money or when it comes to sense enjoyment. But when that person knows that you're not able to provide any more sense enjoyment, then he will leave you behind. He will find another person who will be able to provide him these different facilities for sense enjoyment. So Kṛṣṇa is like that as Paramātmā. And we should understand and relate to each and every one. It doesn't matter who they are, where they're coming from. Relate to them in the soul platform. And we will not be able to do that if we are on the bodily platform. Does it make sense? If we are in the bodily platform, how can I relate to you that you're a soul? Theoretically, maybe, but not for a long time. So yes, Paramātmā is present in each and every body. And a Kṛṣṇa conscious person has full knowledge of this. And therefore, he is truly learned and has equal vision. True knowledge refers not only to knowledge, not only to knowing the difference between matter and spirit, but to knowing the Supersoul. Prabhupada says that. Real knowledge means understanding what is matter and what is spirit and who is God. What is the relationship between the two? The learned person sees the Supersoul has impartially sanctioned the desires of all living entities, regardless of their present karmic positions. Isn't that amazing? how the Supersoul is? How he relates to each and everyone indiscriminately, without partiality. So not until we come to that platform of being impartial, we're always going to be in the bodily platform. We will still see and discriminate each and every one. This is a very important verse. Prabhupada quoted this very often. And we will stop here. Any questions? Any other points? So now you have equal vision? Or you have double vision? Huh? Any other points? Any question on this point? Yes. Hey, hold on. You have a microphone.
Thank you very much. Very enlightening. So it seems to be more difficult to not discriminate against species.
Difficult to discriminate.
Species.
Of course, you have to discriminate, but also just like if there's a tiger, oh, it's a Supersoul. Supersoul is there and Atma is there. How are you, my dear tiger?
What about insects? Like when we see an insect.
An insect, yes.
We have a tendency to think that that's a pest or something we want to kill.
Yeah.
Because this is like a general consensus. We see outwards and we really want to kill.
Oh yes, yes.
And that's not.
We have to use our intelligence as well. Just like yesterday, there was a snake in Vani Ashram, a cobra, 5 feet long. So they killed the cobra, sharp, right? They killed. Any aggressors should be killed. The cobra, and they also found a snake. They killed the snake, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was happy that the snake was killed. And Prabhupada was surprised. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, a sadhu, was happy to see a snake being killed. How can this be? A sadhu, a learned person, sees everyone in equal vision, but he was very happy. So he was confused. But then later on, he was reading the Śrīmad-Bhagavatam, and he read that a sadhu is happy to see a snake being killed like this. So we have to use also discrimination. It's like there was an insect crawling onto the table, and the servant of Srila Prabhupada saw there's this insect. So what the servant did is that he took some paper or some item and very gently had that insect crawled into that paper or a leaf, and then he put the insect outside. Prabhupada says, yes, this is a sign of advancement. Before coming to Krishna consciousness, you will squash that insect. Also, he says, mosquitoes, you're allowed to kill them because they're aggressors. If you don't, if they are carrying malaria, there you go. you get malaria. And usually in Vrindavan, there's a certain season during the year, it's malaria time. We had many devotees had malaria. So we have to discriminate at the same time. But at the same time, we should see that there is a soul there. And if they're killed, it's not a big deal, really. Because otherwise, you'll get sick and you will die if you don't kill them. Does it make sense? Huh? Yeah. Monkeys, don't get too close to them. They can be very nuisance. Be neutral with them. You play with monkeys, monkeys will bite you. Be careful. Cows, the most gentle animal. Come to Goshala. Cuddling them is free. Caressing them is free. Giving them ladus. The last few days I was giving them ladus, but they're not eating the ladus. They smell it. Some smell is not really like... so they discriminate with the food. In Europe, you have to pay 100 euros to cuddle the cows. And in America, they started to do that also. Vishnunam Prabhu and I went to visit the farm in Detroit, and they're also charging, and they're ready to pay. They never caress cows. So if you want your blood pressure also to come down, go to Goshala. You will have your blood pressure and you'll be in the mode of goodness. But don't cuddle a tiger. They will eat you. Run immediately. So there's some discrimination here. The vision means he's a spirit soul. He's in a very, very great condition. And somehow or other, if I can help him, I can give him some prasad. That will help. Or chant Hare Krishna. If you see an insect, you can say Hare Krishna. If I see, like, in America, when we go for Japa walk, remember? When we go for Japa walk with Guru Maharaj, we'll say, Gauranga. Maybe that will be the only time that they will hear Gauranga's name. And they will be going. But they may not know, but that is the sound vibration is there. So, yes, as much as possible, help others to become Krishna conscious. It doesn't matter which species of life they are. They belong to. Any other points? Any other question? So we stop here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hari Hari.